Salamander hit the Japanese arcade in 1986. In America, the game was renamed to Life Force, while Europe and the rest of the world just kept the Japanese title of Salamander. The Japanese and European versions are nearly identical, but the American version changes the game's plot by adding an opening text that establishes the game to be set inside a giant alien life form, which is infected by a strain of bacteria. Stages that featured Starfield backgrounds had them changed with the web background from stage 1 to maintain the consistency with the organic setting of the plot. The power-ups are also given different names, with Speed Up becoming Hyperspeed, the Missile becoming Destruct Missile, and the Ripple Laser becoming Pulse Laser. Salamander on Android? Why can't I find this on the Play Store? That's probably what you're thinking. Well, the truth is, this Chinese licensed by Konami remake was never released. Why? Well, who can say, but it's not as if Konami care about games these days anyway. It's a great shame too, as this is an excellent game. However, the ability to buy extras with in-game currency make this version of Salamander incredibly easy, so you really do have to resist the temptation in order to have any challenge at all. By the way, please ignore the yellow circle following my ship. It's not present when playing the game on a phone or tablet. Well, I tried to like this port, but I can't. It's horrible. There are so many things wrong with it. 1. You only get power-ups at the beginning of the stage. 2. The laser blaster is way too slow, resulting in death because your laser won't shoot out in time. 3. Enemy projectiles can move faster than you. 4. The stages scroll too fast, adding even more problems to the slow laser issue. 5. Your ship moves too slow. And finally, 6. The collision detection is awful. Add in the lack of music and crappy Spectrum level graphics, and we have one horrible port of Salamander. Well, what do we have here? Yep, it's the game which the Amstrad version was based upon. As you'd expect, this Spectrum port has all the same issues as the Amstrad version. An awful port of Salamander. You may think I'm being tough, but just wait until you see the Commodore 64 version, and then you'll understand. More of an arranged version, this MSX port of Salamander is one of the few that has you select power-ups manually. I really like this feature as it allows me to choose exactly what I want. Sadly, the slow plodding nature of the game makes it extremely difficult, as you'll often find yourself being smacked into something as it suddenly appears in front of you. Still, the MSX port isn't all bad for the system it's running on. That soundtrack is mighty impressive. After seeing the poor efforts on the Amstrad CPC and ZX Spectrum, you'd expect the Commodore 64 version to be just as bad, but as you can see, it's rather excellent. Everything about this port just oozes quality. The gameplay is silky smooth, collision detection is spot on, and it looks wonderful. And let's not forget the simultaneous 2-player mode. In fact, the only real downer is the music composition isn't right, and that it's missing 2 of the 6 stages. Like many a PC Engine arcade shooter ports, Salamander scrolls the screen vertically due to the resolution difference. Still, don't let that put you off, because what we have here is an excellent well-made port. Yeah, the stages are a little shorter than they should be, but who cares when everything else is quality. Fans of hardcore shooters will love the PC Engine port too, thanks to its adaptive AI, that becomes tougher the better you play. Also, instead of starting off where you die, you'll be transported back to the last stage checkpoint, like many of the home computer ports.
Destroy them all. Missile chamber is empty. Pick it up for multiple.
Coming on the Salamander Deluxe Pack along with Salamander 2 comes this PlayStation port. What we have here is basically a very close to near arcade perfect port, complete with emulated slowdown to match the arcade's gameplay. This PlayStation port also gives you the option to freely adjust the screen size. However, it's not easy to get the exact arcade resolution.
Go up. Destroy them all. Pick it up multiple.
At first you'd think the X68000 is emulating the feel of the arcade game by slowing down, but in actual fact, the game really does slow down, far more than the arcade game. This is quite puzzling, as the X68000 is more than capable of running Salamander perfectly. Sloppy programming? Maybe.
Pick it up for speed up. Speed up. Go up. Multiple. Pick it up for later.
The Famicom or NES version of Salamander is probably the one most people know, especially if you're from the US where Nintendo was big. And that's not a bad thing, because the Famicom port is well done. It's also one of the few ports which allows you to choose your own weapon. Sadly, Konami were cheap with the Western release, as the NES version is missing the multiple endings and only allows 2 option power-ups instead of 3.
Destroy them all. Missile chamber is empty. Pick it up for multiple. Pick it up for force shielding.
The Saturn port, again like the PlayStation, is on the Salamander Deluxe Pack and is very close to the arcade original, just like the PlayStation. But I'd even go as far as saying this is the best home port. As default, the game runs in the arcade screen mode, as you are seeing now, but can be changed to the Saturn mode. This port also has smoother slowdown emulation than the PlayStation version, which some may prefer. I know I do. It gives the game a fresher, less dated feel. let's take a look at all those versions of Salamander running side by side. Which version do you think is the best?